Good day, good people. Thank you for waiting on me. This is reveal number 513. It is a 1948S Lincoln Cent plastic tube roll. It's right here. Hopefully this one will turn out to be one of the better rolls like we've been through lately. We've done some pretty nice ones over the last couple of weeks. Let's see, you got to get the tape off of it. I've never been into this roll. I have no idea what is inside. Bust this tape off of it. Can I see what's in here? Oh, it looks nice. Yeah. Nice uncirculated roll here. I can see the sides of the coins. Sides of the coins looked pretty nice, so I decided, let's just do this roll from scratch. I don't like these tubes at all. Square tubes. Anybody wants a bunch of square tubes, I'm going to have plenty for you. Alright. Here's that. Let me squish all this in. Good afternoon, Mr. Rizek. And there we go. We're good to go now. Get started. Here's coin number 1. This one goes to Malcolm. Malcolm will be our first one. Let me knock the lighting up a little bit on this so we can see a little bit better. Zoom in just a little bit. Get my lighting situated a little better. There we go, and we can see a minor split serif RPM on here. This one's a minor split lower serif RPM. You got 1948. 1948 with a pointed top to the 4. Makes a big difference in 49, but 48 it is just this way. Okay, we've got a minor split lower serif RPM, and we have a die scratch leading south from the 1, from like the center of the 1 of the date. Hello, Brian. There's Techstar with us as well. All right, let's keep taking a look around here and see what we come up with. We're going to have the first 10 coins. We're going to flip over and take a look at the reverse side just to see what's on there. After the first 10 coins, if we don't find anything on the reverse side, we're going to stop right there and just look at the obverses. Right here, we do have a rather minor split serif. It's a split lower serif RPM. You can see the split right there in the lower serif. And so, coin number 1 for Malcolm will go into the special pile. Here is the reverse side that we're going to take a quick look at before we move along. See if there's anything going on there that we need to discuss any further. And from what I'm seeing, the answer to that would be no. All right. So there is our first coin and an RPM. Coin number 2 now going to Eric. And Eric will get coin number 2, and that's a nice RPM right there. Sweet. You can see that nice little spread on the upper curve to the west. You've also got a heavy die gouge pointing straight up from the point of the 4. So this will be easy to identify. This will be the second die for this roll, the second RPM for this roll. So it looks like it could also possibly have a little bit of doubling. It's looking a little extra thick in some of the lettering here. Yep, this is also a Class 6 double die obverse. It's not especially strong, but it is there. Now that may just be a footnote to the RPM, but the RPM is definitely a nice one. And on the reverse side, we see exactly what we would expect, which is nothing. So that's coin number 2. On to coin number 3. This one's going to go to Techstar, who I believe is here. Let's see what Techstar gets. Oh yeah, got another RPM, and it's another one of the first die of the roll. It's got that die scratch headed straight south out of the center of the 1 of the date. See if we have any other scratches, hits, or marks to work on for identification. Yeah, not really seeing anything else specific. My wife and I having a little fun chit-chat together using the word Pacific instead of specific, and I almost did it here. Don't be quite so Pacific about it. There is a nice little die hit, die bump right here in front of the chin, little die spot right there, so that's going to help us. That's going to help us. All right, let's look at the reverse real quick, but we've seen the reverse of this particular die pair already. There's no double die, but there could be something else that would require a closer look. And in this particular case, the answer is no. So, here we go on. Let's check this other coin for the little hit beneath the beard thing. So I want to make sure that we've got it on both of these coins before I start spreading that around as a marker. And yes, it is there. You have that interesting looking little die hit. Get this pulled off in a different direction. This is coin number 1 again. I'm trying to verify a self-proclaimed marker. Okay, there we go. Right there. Little die hit beneath the chin. The gem show was interesting. And the reason it was interesting is because I finally got to go to a trade show where there were a number of people geeking out about something I'm not 100% involved in, interested in. These people knew. There's another one just like Eric got right there. Another nice doubling to the east, or doubling to the west, I'm sorry, doubling to the west there. There were a lot of people who knew like scientific names for the rocks, and they knew all kinds of, berylliite, gemellite, whatever, ite names, and it was interesting, very interesting to go to, and interesting to see that there are other people out there who geek out on their own subjects like we do on coins. And it was really interesting to observe. Let's see. It's coin number 5. This one for Chuck Patillo. And Chuck gets another one of our first die RPMs, the split lower serif with the nice little die scratch coming out of the south of the 1. So we'll call this our 1 RPM because it has our die scratch coming out of the 1, and it is the first different RPM that we have seen in this roll. Now we have a second different RPM that spreads quite nicely to the west. I had fun. We didn't buy anything at the gem show. It rained on us. We were going to go to the flea market at the fairgrounds outside and didn't end up doing that. This is a different die. This one has a much nicer split in the lower serif. This one, you can see, has some nice die scratches between the 9 and the 1 of the date. So this one's going to be a different die. So we have a third different die that we're looking for now. None of these are especially major, but 1948S doesn't need anything major for people to sit up and take attention. Because, well, it's not that common an issue, folks. These things are expensive by the roll. Taco John. Taco John, what do we come up with for Taco John here? There we go. And what do we have? Well, it looks like nothing. Let's keep looking. It is a different die from those we have seen already today. It kind of looks like your typical die wear on this issue causes what appears to be Class 6 doubling. Kind of hard to tell. I'll have to keep looking. Here's Taco John, got a normal coin, so number 7. Coin number 7 is our first normal coin of the roll. Let's keep that streak at bay, and let's get back to die varieties here. Who's Carl? That's Carl right there. And we have not an RPM. Relatively new die here for us anyway. We have a rather thick die scratch between the lower part of the 1 and the lower part of the 9. Let's check the reverse on that one. Only up to coin number 8 right now, so we still have a couple of few reverses to check. No way. Really? Heh, I saw this double die years ago, many years ago, and I've been looking for it ever since. It's a minor double die, but it shows on the inside of the O of 1. Right up here. You see a little arc of another 1, or another 0. O, I'm sorry, not 0, not O. Right there. So there we have a minor double die reverse. So we will grab a marker here. Heavy die scratch in the lower part of the 1. So between the 1 and the 9. Heavy die scratch between the lower 1 and 9. You photographed a 47 Philly like this morning that has this doubling on the inside of the O. That's cool. So let me get this one put in its proper place and go back to coin number 7 to be sure that we don't have a repeat of the same die that I did not notice. No, this one is different. Yeah. This one is different. So Taco John, no reprieve for you, my man. We still have a normal coin. Here's one for Frostbite. Frostbite. Now we've got four different die varieties. 4 different die varieties in this roll so far. This one matches the first die again. This is the 1 RPM, minor lower split serif RPM with a die scratch headed straight south out of the bottom of the 1 of the date. Mr. Fletcher, Jim Fletcher. Okay, this is the one with the heavy 1, the heavy die gouge between the 1 there. What was it that we found? That was a double die reverse. Okay, so we'll look around, we'll check the obverse again real carefully on this one and flip it over, take a look for that double die reverse that we think is there. Shall we? Yes, it is there. Definitely a double die. Now I'm not looking at this here. This is not what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is right in here. Nice double die. Well, Joe, I plan on doing a video series on that at some point. I just haven't gotten there yet. But the differences in the different classifications of hub doubling are simply the measure of distance or measure of difference between one die and another, or the way the die was made by looking at the coins. So a class 1 is a rotated hub double. Rotated hub doubling, there's another one of the ones like Eric got, and this one is for Paul. Class 1 is rotated hub doubling. It's kind of like if you stood in the middle of a wheel and just spun around a little bit, you're going to change your direction of travel. It's the same thing that happens with the class 1. So it's rotated from the center between one hubbing and the next hubbing. Then you have class 2. Class 2 occurs because you have a hub that warps between uses and it distorts. In other words, it's wider or smaller or something different from your first hubbing with the hubbing press. Class number 3 is a design hub double die. A design hub double die means that the design used was in part an incorrect design. So what you'd actually be looking for in that, this one says no chimney treats, and it's true. Don't need no chimney treats on that. So this class 3 design hub doubling is like a large date over small date over large date, things like that, where you're using two different designs in the same die, and it shows through doubling. There's a lot of those. Class 4, offset hub doubling. Offset meaning one image is north, south, east, or west, or otherwise, of the other image. Class 5 is like Class 1 in that it's a rotated doubling, but the rotation occurs really close to the rim. So if the rotation really occurs close to a rim, can you say that your RPM is north, south, east, or west of the other RPM? Nope, you have to wait until the coin is struck. When the coin is struck and comes out in hand, it's when that is discovered and first placed in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing with coins. Okay, I'm suddenly completely losing my way here. It's almost like, that looks like a class. Oh, this is going to be one of the double die reverses, which may also be a very slight double die obverse. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I think it's a slight class 6 double die obverse, but this is definitely going to have the doubling on the inside of the O. Of 1. There it is. What did I cover? Up to 5. Class 5 is pivoted hub doubling. Basically just like the rotated hub doubling, only the center of the rotation is near the rim of the coin, which creates what we would consider a pivot. And a pivot being like playing basketball where you can move one foot and you can't move the other. Well, the foot that doesn't move is the center of the rotation, and then exactly opposite where the foot did not move is where the rotation shows best. So the 1995 double die, the really nice double die for 1995 that shows most of its doubling in the word liberty and then in the word in, that is a class 5 hub doubled Lincoln cent there with a start position of the rotation as you read a clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4. Dun, 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 dun. You would call it a start position approximately 4 o'clock. I'm having brain confusion issues, brain fog right now. Kind of hard to get rid of brain fog. I've had this a little bit off and on for most of the day. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I know what that one is now. And when it happens to me, sometimes it's it can be due to a number of things like having a headache or other things like that. And I think more people get them than they think. There's another one, first die, slight lower split serif RPM with a nice die scratch coming out of the south part of the 1 of the date. But what, unfortunately, what people don't truly realize is that this kind of a problem can come over your head and you can't think straight. It doesn't hurt. But when I can't think straight, it can be sleep deprivation, which this is not. It could be food deprivation, which this could be. I could be having a blood sugar crash or something. I've done that before. Or it can be a number of different things, I guess. This is the third different die. This has got the really nice split lower serif. I think mine is a temporary medical condition type thing, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Paul Hampton, but it's almost like a odd, strange, small case of dementia or something that you get for just a short period of time. Well, that is another one of that first die RPM. That one's pretty plentiful in this roll. Class 6 is called distended hub doubling. Distended hub doubling is where the lack of proper softness in the dies cause the hub to flatten out, like almost like die wear. And when it hubs the dies, it creates this thickness, this extra padding at the lettering, mostly toward the edge of the design. So this one's going to be one of the number 2 dies, one of the number 2 dies. Next coin, Mark. And Mark, number 1 die. Number 1 die. 1 die, 2 die, 3 die, 4. Alright, there's coins and ghouls now. Coins and ghouls will get... Bum bum bum. Oh, this is another one of the double die reverses. I believe it is. I don't think so. I do not believe so. What was this with that nice die scratch between the lower 1 and 9? I do believe that was supposed to be for the double die reverse, but this one doesn't have that reverse. Not really sure what to say. I'll just stick that one back in the pile and we'll figure it out later. So there's coin number 20. This may be a case of low blood sugar. In fact, it probably is. I'll have to eat between shows. Tech Star. Little split in the lower serif. This is going to be RPM number 1 for the roll. We've got a big pile of those over here so far. This one will join the crowd with the remainder. I'm going to say 8 or 9, so this would make roughly number 10. All right, we got Captain Morgan Dollar now. Captain Morgan Dollar. Nothing there. $23 now. 23 goes to Parvez. And this one is a die number 1 for the roll again. Is this the one, Eric, you said is probably RPM number 4? Ah, the die 2s. Okay. Okay, here's number 24 for Richard. There's another one of them. Slight lower split serif. Big die scratch between the 1 and 9 of the date to the lower half of it. That is another one of them. Number 26 now, Frostbite. Well, I hope we keep the same record that we've done so far. This is our 22nd coin that is a die variety out of 26. So we'll put it in the stack with the rest. 27 now for Kevin. Kevin Dwyer. What do we have? That one looks like it's going to be the double die reverse. I was just looking at that area there to see what we've got with regard to possibility for a Class 6 double die. I'm just kind of not thinking it. It could be. It's definitely got the reverse on it that we're looking for. Oh, Mr. Adams. Stephen. Okay, this one appears to be one of our 2 dies. One of our 2, I guess, that has nothing on it for a die variety. Okay. Hello, Ronald. $29 now. Stonecutter. These are very nice coins, so I can at least give it that much. Stonecutter with a die 1 for the roll again. Number 30 now, Frostbite. I'm going to have to move my other shows to a little bit later in the day, but I do plan on doing the bag this evening, so I'll get these done before the bag. There is another one of our more scarce, so it was slightly more difficult to figure here. That's a nice West RPM. I'm going to have to take a while to do some chuck care, but I'll be fine. Here's Sand Digger. Sand Digger for us. Yeah, I find myself kind of blinking out a little bit here and there, and I don't want to do that on you. Okay, this is the 3rd die. Again, die 3. Nice. Nice. Split serif RPM there. It's a nice one, though. Mr. Patillo. Chuck. And this is another one. Die number 3 again. I'll get that plastic off of it before I put it in the flip. Getting a little piece of grit or grime off a coin. Just a piece of like fabric stuck on the coin or whatever. It's pretty simple to do. Just rub it really lightly with a Q-tip, or just brush it very gently on your t-shirt. Dropped a coin in my lap and I couldn't find it. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely not operating at 100% right now. Let's see. Alright, here we go. This one was that pile, I think. Eric, I may have some of these in the wrong pile, but let's see. Next coin up. Well, this is another one of the ones with the slight lower split serif. It's got that scratch going south out of the 1. And so this one is going to be another die 1 on the roll. Yeah, but I try keeping them segregated at least, somewhat. Farm Dog gets another one of those. It's going to have the scratch under the 1. There it is. Folks, this roll is turning out to be kind of amazing. That pile is getting too big. I have to move coins off the pile for that particular RPM. There's got to be at least 15 of them now, 10 or 15. Do I have another one to add to the pile? Yes, I do. I have another one right there to add to the pile. The pile is big. The pile continues to grow. Mark? What are we going to do for you, Mark? That's another one of the nice... Wait a minute. Yeah, that's another one of the really nice ones. There you go. A nice one. Nice. We've got double die reverse. We've got RPMs. We've got nice. Right? This roll is producing. My wife's down there like, what the heck is he doing up there? He's all quiet for hours on end, and then he starts acting like he's crazy. What's wrong with that guy? Alright, this one is a nothing. It doesn't hurt too much when you've got so many somethings. You run into a nothing. Of course it stings a little, but it's not as bad as running into an entire dead roll. There's a die 3 for the roll. Another nice one. Nice. So here we go. Roll full of RPMs here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And Parviz. Parviz up next with another coin here. Let's see what this one is. It is the die 1 for the roll. Minor split lower serif. Die scratch coming south out of the 1. Coin number 40 now for Kevin. And Mr. Kevin will pick up. This one is a nothing. Unfortunately. Let me flip this one over and look at the reverse just to be sure. But I do believe it is a normal coin. And it is. Up to coin number 41 now. Coin number 41 for a Cab Morgan dollar. Let's see. What's Jay got? And this is going to be one of the double die reverses. Do we have a double die reverse? And we do. We got the doubling on the inside of the O of 1. So there's that. Coin number 42 now, Taco John. And Taco John. Well, that's different. Is that... Oh, that's die number 1 again. I don't know what happened to the upper serif there, but it looks like it has a split that I haven't seen on any of the other coins in the roll. Okay. Well, we'll pull it off. It is a die number 1. Coin number 43 now goes to Sissy. I'll have to probably put about an hour gap between this show and the next one, so just be patient with me while I get myself all put back together in the right direction. Make it easier for me to deal with not wanting to try to pass out in the middle of a show. I'm a little better right now, but there we go again. Okay, double die reverse. That's coin number 43. Now coin number 44. This one has nothing and it has a Larry on the coin. Well, that's not very nice. But it is what it is, unfortunately. All right, Taco John. Taco John up next. Taco John gets this little guy right here, which is another die 1 right there. Another die 1. We've got that lower split serif. We have the die scratch coming out of the 1. So there is that. That's coin 45. Now coin number 46. Go Paul Hampton. Paul. Another one. Another one. Oh, it's got a little bit of a Larry on it, though. But this is another one of our die 1 out of the roll. We may make it through this roll with fewer than 10 normal coins in the roll. Carl? Carl's up next, and Carl's going to get another die 1. There we go. Got 3 coins left. 3 coins left. Coin number 48. Parv is with a star, meaning somebody purchased this one for him. And Parvez is going to get another die number 1 out of this. Die number 1 right there. Let us continue. Now 49. Got 2 coins left. Hope both of them are RPMs or double dies. Well, coin 49 is die number 1 again. Die number 1 again. Well, this is going to be a whole roll of replacing the insert with die variety inserts. Hey, there's Eric again. Eric got the first one of these in the roll. Now he gets this one in the roll. He's probably going to end up letting me take this one because I don't think I've got that RPM. But that would be up to Eric entirely. Hint, hint. So here's what we've got. Our die varieties. 2, 3, 4, plus this stack that I had to move. This is our die varieties for the roll. This is our die varieties for the roll, right? This is our normal coins. The normal coins that do not have a die variety are right here. Taco John, Eric, Coins and Ghouls, Captain, Steven, Coins and Ghouls, Kevin, and Sissy. Looks like Coins and Ghouls kind of got the rude awakening on this roll. And that is going to do it for that roll. I appreciate everybody dropping by. I appreciate everybody being patient with me. I will try to start the next reveal at 3 o'clock, which will be an hour and 40 minutes from now. And if that works out, I'll be back at 3 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and schedule this for 3 o'clock. So the next reveal will start at 3 o'clock, and then the following one will start at 4 o'clock. That would leave me with 2 reveals remaining for the week. And then we've got the sealed bag. And the sealed bag, the 1963 sealed bag, I'm going to try to do this evening. Try to get my body all in line and everything and be able to stay awake to do it this evening. So I appreciate it, folks. I'll see you guys here in a little while. You guys have a great day.